Hey everyone, it's Dr. Ramani. Welcome back to this YouTube channel on narcissistic relationships and healing from these relationships. And let's talk a little bit about awe and wonder today. The key with awe and wonder, which is, we're seeing more and more research about this, is do it, but find someone who's not narcissistic to do it with. So this video came together for me on a very, very special day. I love eclipses. I wanted to be an astronaut as a kid. I wasn't good enough at math to be an astrophysicist, and I had shitty eyes, so I couldn't be a flyer. But to this day, I stay on top of full moons, meteor showers. I fought to see the aurora borealis, and I did it. I cry when I see the Milky Way. Like, galaxies and stars mean everything to me. And it may not matter to everyone, but that stuff matters to me, and it fills me with something called awe. So I had the privilege of going to see the eclipse in 2017 in Missouri, and I thought it was one of the most extraordinary things I had ever seen. So when I learned another total eclipse was happening, like many other people, I was like, oh, I'm going to see this again. And a year ago, I booked a flight and got an affordable hotel in Dallas, a sunny city that chose not to be sunny. So then I was like Magellan studying weather charts, like I was studying for a rocket launch. I did some navigation, a little faith, then a 9-hour drive, and then a 5-hour nap in Memphis, and then another 3-hour drive took me to a beautiful little corner of Missouri. And a city park that I pulled into kind of at dawn, surrounded by folks with telescopes and cameras and other nice folks who wanted to take in the awe and the wonder. I did it with my childhood friend, Jill. We met as equally socially awkward 13-year-olds, definitely not cool, definitely not popular, definitely often made fun of, and 45 years later, here we are. Right now, as I prepared the video, she was sleeping in the back seat, getting ready and getting rest for the drive back. I was waiting for the sun and the moon to do their waltz, and I was too excited to sleep. And I'm reminded of two essential ingredients for healing as I think about this eclipse or thought about this eclipse: support and awe. And today, I had both. Jill never stopped friending. It was the opposite of a narcissistic relationship. She was reciprocal, consistent, empathic, mutual, respectful, kind, and compassionate for 45 years now. It's who she is, and it has not changed one bit since we were 13 years old. Personality is consistent. Then there's awe and wonder that folks like Keltner at UC Berkeley write about. We need awe, we need wonder. And it doesn't have to be something as splashy as an eclipse. It can be that beautiful blue bottle blue of a hummingbird's feathers, a sunset that catches you by surprise, that it's a riot of pink and red that you see while you're driving on the freeway. It's the first daffodil that showed up. It's a big juicy moonrise. It's the quiet of a night when it snows. Whatever fills you with awe and wonder. Awe and wonder remind us that there's something that takes our breath away, gets us away from the smallness, the pettiness, and the thousands of little cuts that comprise our day-to-day in narcissistic relationships. And here's the other piece. Jill and I drove through the night mostly. We got here to the eclipse place, or there to the eclipse place 6 hours early to beat the crowds and get a place to park. We subsisted on fast food and a few bananas. Then I sat down and I tried to imagine doing my little eclipse adventure with a narcissistic person. And imagine them saying things like, how dare the sun not show up in Dallas after I booked tickets here? Are you kidding me, Ramani? Drive all night? That's stupid. I'm not doing that. Or, oh my God, we're staying in this dump for the night? Or, I'm not just eating fast food. This is dumb. What's the point, Ramani? Grow up. We're spending all this money on 4 minutes. I could hear the voices. So even if you were to try to access the awe, the narcissistic person would be likely to break it. Poignant and precious things, much like emotions, are often mocked by narcissistic people. Ironically, and as I was in the rental car bus from the airport, there are these 3 angry dudes who were in the bus, and we were squeezed into that bus, and they were scoffing about how the clouds were going to mess up the viewing of the eclipse in Dallas, and who would be stupid enough to care about 4 minutes. You see what I mean? Because let me tell you, that 4 minutes, whew, I'll never forget it. I have watched so many people lose special moments, awe-filled moments, because they attempted to engage in those moments with narcissistic people, whether it is an eclipse or a botanical garden or a special event in their town or even just the damn sunrise. So even accessing the key healing practice of awe and wonder are taken away. And people sometimes even feel foolish for wanting those small moments because they've been shamed so many times. Remember, it's not you. Those moments do matter. So just like you need people to share your good news or bad news with, remember that firewalling rule? You got to remember not to take your good news or bad news to the narcissistic person first. You need people with whom to share awe and wonder, even if you just have one. And I felt fortunate that I think there's more than one in my life. On that day, though, the eclipse, I shared it with one. And when you seek the awe and wonder, you will find other awe seekers. I met a lot of sweet people sitting on the back of that car who cared about this eclipse as much as I do. They were from all over the United States. And none of us talked about what we do. We didn't talk about anything. We just talked about the sun and the moon and our excitement. The other awe and wonder seekers, they beget more awe and frankly, more healing. And that makes social support and awe and wonder all key ingredients in healing. But don't forget one last thing, and that's curiosity. Curiosity about everything, the world, our feelings, just stuff. And again, it's a key to healing. Instead of judging ourselves, being curious about ourselves and our feelings and our responses also becomes crucial and essential to healing. And that can often start with a childlike curiosity about the world. Awe and wonder and curiosity can also affect what motivate us. I have no doubt that there are a few narcissists, more than a few narcissistic folks out there who seek out stuff like eclipses for the look at me Instagrammable moment. But that's different than the awe and wonder. The moment where we look at the sky and recognize that our ancestors looked at phenomena like this with fear, and I'm also guessing with awe and wonder. We can't step away from all of our invalidating and narcissistic relationships, but we can be more careful about how we interact with them. Figure out your awe, figure out your wonder, and do it by yourself or with someone who gets it. And if you do it by yourself, I promise you, you will find other people in the parking lot. But remain curious, whether it's watching a bee pollinating a flower or seeing a rainbow out your window or getting a double yolked egg as you make your breakfast. Just relish it. Don't hear their mocking voices. Healing is an act of defiance, and seeking out awe and wonder are healing and human. The next total eclipse in the United States is in 2044. Jill and I will be 78, and we are already making our plans. Find your thing, find an awe and wonder buddy, be curious, and once we lift our heads out of the myopia and the tunnel of the narcissistic relationships we're chronically jousting at, we see that there is this world full of wonder and people who share our wide-eyed joy with it. And not only is that just good for you as a human being, it can actually press the accelerator on your healing. So everybody, I hope to see you in 2044 with your eclipse classes. Thanks again.